All right, top of the morning show, top of morning to all the beautiful listeners of Badeggi Radio 90.1. Today is Saturday, the 28th day in the month of February year 2026. Studio time check is 7:04. I am Usman Apaya. Welcome you to this week's edition of Weekend Review of the National Dailies. Yes, this is the platform where we give you the rundown reviews of some of the captivating stories that are trended over the weekdays, and of course give you an opportunity to come in and make your own comment and contribution based on any of the story that is so catchy to you. You can do that via our telephone line 09138579001. You can as well follow us on our Facebook page at Badeggi Radio 90.1 FM, so you can post your comment and it shall be read here. And of course you can follow us on our YouTube page at Badeggi Radio 90.1 FM, at Badeggi Radio 90.1 TV. You subscribe to the channel so you could have more and more of our program. Yes, when you subscribe, you comment and of course like the page, so you could have more and more of our program. Now, starting this bright and promising Saturday morning, we have this very interesting caption: Tinubu comments wiki for APC victory in FCT. A little insight into the story. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has commended the Minister of Federal Capital Territory FCT, Nyesom Wike, saying his achievement in the territory yielded political dividends to the governing APC. On Saturday, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) conducted elections in 6 area council of FCT, as well as a by-election in Ahodo East 2 and Kana 2 states constituency of River State, as well as in Kano Municipal and Ungongo Municipal in Kano State. The whole APC put a strong showing the most positive that we were up for grabs. Well, that election have been characterized with a lot of malpractices, a lot of shenanigans. Before the election, Wike have actually promised to deliver APC at all costs, and of course he have actually sent down threats to all opposition party and said that it must be APC or nothing. And of course we all know is there in the news that the election was marred with a lot of malpractices. We saw a lot of election result being mutilated. So I don't know. That is all about that. Another very interesting story here that trended over the weekend, rather a sad one. Bandit to KB community, pay us 100 million naira before you could go to farm. A little insight into that story has it that bandits operating in part of KB South have demanded 100 million naira from Otono community in Gaski local government area, threatening to launch an attack if their demands is not met. The demand was reportedly conveyed through a letter addressed to the community leaders. The threat comes amid growing security concerns in part of KB and neighboring states, where armed groups have carried out deadly raids, kidnappings, and of course extortion of a rural community. In a letter, the group warned residents not to treat the message lightly. Yes, this insecurity, we won't say it's ravaging, it's actually ravaged the entire northern part of the country. You now have bandits having the infantry, having the ghost to come out and launch attack without being repelled. Fortunately, bandits are now forming another government in Nigeria. So you have a government that is officially recognized, and of course you have another government in the bush, because the bandits are the ones setting the pace for people, and if they refuse to adhere to the laid down rules by the bandits, the community used to pay for it daily. This is very unfortunate. We don't know what is happening, and already some clerics are using this period of Ramadan in terms of preaching to tell the people that there is nowhere God have said in his holy book of Al-Quran and Hadith that you have no right to defend yourself. The Quran have empowered you as a Muslim to defend yourself, your family, and of course your religion. And as it is now, I think it is a threat on the religion faith, most importantly in this part of the world, the Muslims, because we see some people praying in the mosques and these people will come and slaughter them. At the end of the day, they keep on shouting Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. This is a deception. This is not Islam. Another very interesting story here. El-Rufai files $1 billion suit against ICPC over Abuja home invasion. The former governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai, has filed a $1 billion fundamental right enforcement suit against the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC), challenging what he described as the unlawful invasion and search of his residence in Abuja. He called that El-Rufai have, the suits. He has filed a suit before the Federal High Court in Abuja seeking to nullify a search warrant issued by a magistrate's court in the Federal Capital on February 4. The warrant authorized the ICPC operative to conduct a search and seize items at former governor's residence. El-Rufai, through his lawyer, legal team, led by Oluwale Iyamo, is seeking the court to declare the warrant invalid and set aside any action taken pursuant to it. He is also contesting the legality of the commission's action during the operation. It's no longer a news. El-Rufai is one of the political juggernauts in the country, particularly in the north, who is facing persecution for a reason best known to those who are actually pushing for this. We call that El-Rufai is one of the instrumental character who actually brought this government of APC to power, and today they are parted ways, and he is pitching tent with the African Democratic Congress (ADC), and of course all of a sudden it becomes a crime. El-Rufai today is a victim of political persecution. That is how it appears to be. We hope the players who are pushing for this will understand that this is democracy, and our 26 years of uninterrupted democracy must not be destroyed by some few individuals who actually have intention or future political intention, and of course they want to scatter the ground so that they can make an easy way for them come any what time they want to come in. But this is very disastrous to our democracy, and I hope, I pray our leaders, political leaders to be precise, will wake up from their big slumbers and nip the issue of persecution on the boot. Another interesting one here, Tinubu appointing the Su acting IGP. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu has appointed Assistant Inspector General of Police Tunji Disu to serve as acting Inspector General of Police. Bayo Onanuga, who announced this in a statement, said the appointment is with immediate effect. Onanuga said this following the resignation of Kayode Obetokun. He said, and I quote, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu received Mr. Obetokun's resignation earlier today and expressed his profound appreciation to Obetokun's decades of distinguished service to the Nigerian police force and the nation. The President acknowledged this dedication, professionalism, and steadfast commitment to strengthening integrity, internal security architecture during his tenure. Now, the appointment in June, he took appointment in June 2023. Obetokun was appointed in June 2022. Obetokun was serving full-term schedule to conclude in June 2027. in line with the amendment provision of the Police Act. Obetokun was billed to actually resign 2 years back to quit the police 2 years back, but the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, out of his presidential power, decided to extend the tenure of Obetokun. But even though this is not the first time where we are seeing a kind of extension, tenure elongation of service chief in this country, but they say two wrongs does not make right. This many have condemned, because every individual in this profession will want to go. One of the position any other police will want to attain is the position of the Inspector General of Police, and one must leave for another one to come in. If somebody's tenure has elapsed and you continue to elongate it, it means you are dashing the hope and destiny of others. So I think even though they say it is better late than never, it's important and it's good that after additional 2 to 3 years, he is leaving. Recall that one of the human rights activists talking about Sowore has been on the neck of the Inspector General of Police that he must vacate a seat. He has been calling him names. So today, that has been let to rest. We hope and pray this one that is coming, who is built to retire by April when it is time. I think it's very important that the president should allow him to honorably step aside, so that another very important personality will come into man that position. INEC amends electoral timetable, picks January 16 for presidential poll. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, has fixed January 16, 2027 for presidential and National Assembly elections. The Commissioner Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Mohammed Haruna, announced this in a statement issued on Thursday in Abuja. He said the governorship and States Houses Assembly election will now hold on Saturday, February 6, 2027. There has been a running battle on the timing of the election, because the Islamic Council of Nigeria and Muslim Ummah have condemned Professor Joash Amupitan, the INEC boss, timetable in the next election. They said the election will be during the month of Ramadan, one of the most important calendar in the Islamic world. Ramadan fast is a very, very important month. All other months are important, but Ramadan fast is a special one. So many sees that it is a deliberate attempt from somebody who actually have a penchant with a particular religion, whose appointment have actually been challenged by different groups, and of course even the Islamic Council and many other Islamic religious organizations have condemned Mupitan's appointment, considering the fact that he has on 2020 wrote an article where he supported the claim of a Christian genocide in Nigeria. The Islamic world and of course other Islamic group in the country believe that Mupitan, who have actually pitched or shows his sympathy for a particular religion, will not dispense election that is going to be free, fair, and of course just, because he have actually make a case for Christians in Nigeria, and that position is a very sensitive position. Whosoever is going to man that position must, number one, be apolitical, and of course must not be a religious bigot. He must not be seen perpetrating religious sentimentality. And Amupitan, from the record, he have proven to be somebody who is a religious bigot, because of the Christian genocidal claim in Nigeria, which both Christians and Muslims in Nigeria have come to condemn that it was a gimmick that is coming from the United States of America, a deliberate attempt to have a gap, to have a crack, to come into Nigeria and do whatsoever they want to do. So they hide under the canopy of religion. Unfortunately, Amupitan has once gave them the opportunity to come in by the article he wrote, and of course today he is the INEC boss. So the real Muslim community in Nigeria are saying they don't trust Amupitan to conduct free, fair and election come 2027, and of course Amupitan Unfortunately, it is not his doing, but that has been the normal timetable. But yes, it's fall in the month of Ramadan, and considering the allegation that is hanging on his neck, I think he cannot be trusted by so many Islamic, community. And of course, now that he's coming to change the timetable, it's it's a big question mark on that. Atiku to federal government. FG will be held responsible if anything happens to El Rufai. Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar says the federal government will be liable should anything happen to Nasir El Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State. El Rufai had voluntarily presented himself at the headquarters of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) on February 16, following an invitation from the agency. However, on February 18, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission (ICPC) took the former governor of Kaduna State into custody after he was released by the EFCC. The anti-corrupt agencies are probing El Rufai over alleged financial misappropriation, inappropriateness during his tenure as governor of Kaduna State between 2015 and 2023. Now, recall there are more to this. El Rufai has granted an interview the moment he came down to the country. Recall that a few weeks back, he went to Egypt, Cairo, where he actually went for medical tourism, and on landing at Nigeria, the anti-corrupt agencies were at the airport waiting to nab him, and of course that attempt was foiled by some group of Nigerians who actually came down toward him. And after that, the ICPC and EFCC have held El Rufai. He is now in custody of the ICPC. EFCC have actually finished their own, and they passed him on to the ICPC. And it has been alleged that the DSS are equally waiting and laying siege on El Rufai. As soon as he's done with ICPC, he will be handed to them, and he will enter into their custody. So El Rufai's crime are many, as the anti-corrupt agency are saying, but Nigerians keep on asking if the anti-corrupt agencies have the infantry or have the audacity to hold El Rufai for the reason they have actually laid down. What then happened to Yaya Bello, who have been running away from EFCC, ICPC, and even the DSS? And now we see Yaya Bello parading the villa, and nothing is happening. There are so many ex-governors with financial, misappropriation or issues hanging on their neck. Even the Senate president, the number 3 citizen of the country, is not free from EFCC, because at the point he was being invited by the EFCC and nobody heard of the case again. There are a lot of senators in the National Assembly with a lot of issues, even some people around the government. So this El Rufai's incarceration has actually been described by many experts and political sympathizers in the north and some part of the country as a political persecution, because El Rufai have actually made some statements that are of national concern and national security. He have actually once accused the National Security Advisor Marlon Nuribado of importing some toxic substance that odorless and of course colorless, and of course he said that is a deliberate attempt to get rid of opposition figures in the country. So poisoning is what El Rufai have accused the National Security Advisor, and so many other things he have accusing. And yes, if it's that, I think it is not the duty of the EFCC and ICPC to continue to keep El Rufai in their custody. I think the DSS, who is saddled with the internal security, should have done their own homework and come with those allegations, fact and figure. El Rufai at least should be allowed to go to court and of course defend himself. And again, as a former governor who is not running, he's rather coming into the country before he was being arrested, even when he knew that a siege has already been led against him, but he have that guts, that audacity to come in so that he can come and defend himself. So the person who is not running, why should we be choosing him? That is a very big question. Nigeria abolishes the delegate system in party primaries. Yes, this is another very, very interesting caption. In a new electoral act signed into law by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu following its passage by the National Assembly of Nigeria, the system of indirect primaries, talking about delegates-based primaries, has been completely removed, and one of the methods for selecting the candidates, the new law states that political parties will no longer use delegate system to elect their candidate. Now, only two official methods remain. One is direct primaries, where every registered party members have the right to vote directly. Two, consensus, where the party and aspirants reach an internal agreement for one candidate to emerge. Now, what this means is that the delegates no longer control candidate selection. Every registered party member now have equal voting right during primaries. No political parties such as the All Progressive Congress APC, African Democratic Party ADC, the People's Democratic Party PDP, etc., must restructure their primary election process ahead of the future election. Now, analysts have said that the reform could, one, broaden participation within party structure. Of course, it will reduce manipulation of delegate lists. Again, it will increase campaign costs. Okay, it will increase campaign costs due to large voting population. Of course, it will shift internal power dynamics within parties. This move is expected to significantly reshape preparatory towards the 2027 general election. The new law means that all registered party members now have voting power in direct primary election. Yes, I think it's a very, very good one. Instead of restricting that power to selected delegates only, I think this will actually improve our internal democracy, and by extension, we're going to have leaders who are being accepted right from the party level and to their people who will be voting in the general election. This, if allowed to see the light of the day, will definitely improve Nigerians' democracy. Now we have another very interesting story here. Tinubu blocks mass firing of 30 DIGs, AIGs following Tunji Disu's takeover as acting IGP. Very interesting. Let's give you a little round into that story. The appointment of a new acting Inspector General of Police have returned, ignite a nationwide debate over the controversial practice of compulsory retirement for senior police officers. Historically, such a transition trigger a wave of exits among top-ranking officers. A planned shake-off that would have seen compulsory retirement of around 30 Deputy Inspector General of Police DIGs and Assistant Inspector General of Police AIGs following the removal of Kayode Obetokun as Inspector General of Police have been halted by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Recall that Obetokun has since handed over to his successor, the acting IGP Tunji Disu. It has been gathered that it has been exclusively learned by some of the media that the president intervened to stop the mass firing of officers. Which I think this is coming from Safari reporters, which have actually exclusively learned that the president have intervened to stop mass firing of senior officers. Is that the appointment of a new IGP has ignited nationwide? Well, I think it's a very, very important one, and a lot of people have been pens down for that's unwarranted, untimely retirement. And I think the president have done a great thing coming to retire. To stop that tradition of retirement, since it is not constitutional. I think it is unwarranted, because when you have professional police officers asking them to go back home to sit at the time their professional services is needed, it's not just for them and for the police institution, and of course for the country at large. Now the tradition needs to pave way for professionalism and the real established processes. And even though this is not yet Uhuru, because many have actually condemned the appointment of Tunji Disu, because they said you have a lot of seniors. All the 30 DGs is seniors, and of course one of those DIGs, Frank Umba, is one of the persons or police officer who actually was being, many Nigerians are tipping to be the successor or next IGP of the country. But unfortunately, the president decided to take his junior, which automatically or traditionally will see this very professional and gallant police officer retiring. But I think that has been safe. But again, how will you salute your junior? That's a very big question. There's a tradition in the end forces anywhere in the world. Yes. And again, one very troubling issue now is that Tunji is going to be retiring by April this year. So what then happened? He have few months to stay in office, and you are appointing somebody who have few months to stay in office at the expense of some people who are having some years, so that they can construct and bring a lot of professionalism and bring a lot of change into the security architect in the country. We don't know. We shall keep fingers crossed to see what is going to come out of this. Now with this, we have come to our own star story of the week, which is, we have two star stories here. The first one is rather a very, very, very disturbing one. I repeat, it's a very, very disturbing one, because it's involved and a humiliation of a kidnapped corps member by the Fulani bandit in the country, while any other Nigerian or any other human being who actually saw the video of that helpless corps member while he was crying and begging them to forgive him, to set him free because of God. He becomes so helpless in the hand of a Fulani bandit. You need to watch that video. Thank God it's not a video, but we'll give you the voice where you see this man is crying and calling for help from these Fulani bandits who are humiliating. This is a high level of humiliation a human being could face. I doubt if these people are godly, or if they think of the day they are going to meet their own Lord. If the government have failed to protect this one, these people should know that the God who created heaven and earth is watching and waiting to act. Let's give you the voice. It's video here, but for those of you who have watched the video and for those who have not privileged to hear, let's hear this.
أتمكى من دون الله النبي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم والله ناسني الله لا النبي الله لا النبي أتمكى الله والله ما قريان والله ما قريان لا الله لا النبي أتمكى لا الله.
Well, Lord, help me so that I don't become emotional as I present this program. But any other person who have the blood sealing in him, I think should weep, should cry for this corp member and should weep for this country. These are people who are having in the very borderline inside Nigeria. This thing is going on. This is a corp member, somebody who is going for his national service after, completion of his school. He is on his way to from Zamfara to Sokoto before this unfortunate incident befell him. And unfortunately, like I said, any other person, any human being who watch this video, either privately or openly, will have to weep. And I want to pray and I want to appreciate God for giving me the strength to play this and continue to hold this program without weeping, because it's a very, very devastating, very, very terrible situation. We have had so many videos of humiliation of human being, and these people come to tell you, and this make me to say one thing here for the Christian fellows in Nigeria. Nigeria is a predominantly Muslim and Christian nation. We have enjoyed our religious sentiments and we've been coexisting, but some few people are now using religion to try to divide us. And I want to say, this is inhuman. Do not allow people to use religion to deceive you. These people called God, they say they are working for Islam in the month of Ramadan. A Muslim doing this to a fellow Muslim. What do you think? You think it's Islam? Please, our Christian brothers and sisters, please do not be deceived. These are non-Muslim. We must unite to fight this. If authority could not do this, then I think this is a period of sober reflection. This is a month of Ramadan. Coincidentally, the Christians are having their Lents. Why don't we pray very fervently to our Creator, who created heaven and earth, who is watching so that he can intercede? The thing is getting out of hand. Every day, things are happening. Unfortunately, this is happening in Zamfara, and you have the governor of Zamfara state going to Abuja. Most of this state where these things are happening, these governors appears to be inhuman, with all due respect, because if you are human, you have sworn to an oath to protect the life and property of your people. This is your primary responsibility. But most of these stories are being underreported. You hardly have government media even playing or disseminating type of information, and any other private media who want to continue with this definitely used to have problem with the government. So I think this call for prayers. If this thing is happening in Nigeria, the giant of Africa, with all our great leaders, with heroes, both fallen and even the living ones, and this is happening, I think this is a very, very terrible situation. Nigeria is already at war. We hope and pray. We hope and pray our leaders, any leader who sees this video, because there are so many terrible videos, but this one is so catchy, it's so devastating. We've seen a video where a pregnant woman gave birth, and this ruthless, these inhuman people, these ungodly people threw the baby to a dog and he ate it. A lot of atrocity, inhuman act has been meted on innocent Nigerians, and yet these people call Allahu Akbar. God will never forgive you. Well, the watch is watching. The religion is forgot. We all are going to return to our gods. But again, this is where God gives you opportunity to protect the people, the leaders. What are you doing? Well, let us dwell on it, because the more we talk, the more emotional and devastating we become. Now, let's move on to the next story. Well, it's rather either sad one, but not taken, not of a soul that is being taken or being threatened. But again, threats. There's a threat here, because when you talk about medical, what kind of health and medications, and you are having lacuna, I mean there is a threat. Medical student in crisis. Yes, this is all about a crisis of medical student at IBB Ibrahim Badamasi University Lapai in Niger State. Yes, so will IBB Lapai's future doctors be sacrificed on altar of neglect? That is a story. Let's give you a rundown to this story. Crisis of medical student at Ibrahim Badamasi University Lapai, Niger State have reached a defending pitch. These young souls, once filled with hope and ambition, now feel themselves in limbo. Their dreams of becoming doctors cruelly are put on hold. The Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria, NDCN, accreditation team visited the institution in November 2025 only to highlight glaring deficiencies that threaten the very foundation of the School of Medicine. The list is heartbreaking. No teaching hospital, inadequate equipment, empty laboratories, and no hostel for students. The students are paying the price for this shortcoming, with 400 level students unable to proceed with clinical and 200 and 300 students barred from writing examination. The MDCN gave IBBU a 6-month ultimatum to address this issue, with the clock ticking down to April. Yet there is nothing. I mean, this there is a defeating silence, I think, from the government. So what is the future of our doctors in Niger State? Well, it's up to you, Dailies, to begin to, make your voices heard. Most importantly, on this very terrible condition of our university, IBB Lapai, one of the glorious university in Nigeria. Considering the fact of the personality, the university is being named after the first indigenous university in Niger State. Our own state-owned university in Niger State is undergoing terrible things. There are a lot of things. If you call the ASU or the university, you begin to hear unpalatable stories about the condition of the school. We hope and pray the government of Niger State, that is still dreaming to have a new Niger, will start from this angle, because they say health is wealth, and this is where you want to build your health managers, your health administrators, who will actually superintend over the health industry in the country. But if we allow this to go down the drain, I think history and posterity will never forget whosoever is the leader at this material time. So this is a clarion call to the former governor, the governor who wants to give us a new Niger. Now, at this point in time, we want to open the phone line for the callers, for you callers to call in and make your comments and contribution based on any of the story that is so catchy to you. But please, when you call, you have just a minute to make your own contribution, so that others could have a way to equally come in and make their voices heard. Hello.
Good morning, Usman Apaya.
Good morning.
Comrade Ahmed calling from 123 quarters.
You're welcome, Comrade Ahmed.
In fact, Usman Apaya, when I saw that video, the way they were torturing that co-member, in fact, I couldn't watch the video to the end. I was shedding tears, and I was like, do we still have a country where something will be happening just for you to leave Zamfara, heading to Sokoto, and you being kidnapped, and look at the way these people are demanding this person and using their Islamic torch as their word, calling the prophet name. In fact, I don't know. We have to just wake up and then see what we are going to do. And then let me tell you, this is a call to security agencies and the federal government that you people have been taken to the wall. This video has gone to viral, and I hope US will also look at this video and also make a comment. Thank you very much. The word is enough for the wise. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Comrade Ahmed. Well, the USA, while calling the US, we have the capacity and the capability to determine our destiny in Nigeria, have the resources, have the manpower, have all it takes to provide security. You've forgotten when Nigeria used to, go to other African countries, Liberia, Somalia, and many other African countries to make sure there is a peace. Just recently, not up to a year, just recent, about a few months back, if my memory serves me well, about 3 months back, this country felt a coup in Benin Republic. If Nigeria could send a fighter jet and ground troops to come and diffuse a coup in that a country, in your own backyard, you cannot deal with gangs, bank. It's unfortunate. Hello.
Alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Good morning, all of you there.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, sir. I am FEB Angulu from Badeggi, Sadly.
Okay, you're welcome to the program, FEB Angulu.
Thank you. The one that hurted me past is these 3 issues. This NYC that you showed the video this morning. I think they have to beg Yakub Gawan to allow this thing to end, because it's when you school Mina as example, and you are in teacher of Mina, they took you to med.
Hello, are you there? I think we can hear you. Well, I don't know the connection of Yakubu Gawan here. Okay, probably Yakubu Gawan being initiator of National Youth Service Corps. I said a very big program. Big. I don't know what he meant to say. Okay, we have begging to establish that program, or what he's saying. I don't know. Hello.
Hello, Usman Apa. Good morning.
Good morning, MD Awan.
I always appreciate you for a job well done.
Thank you very much, MD Awan.
Usman Apa, you can see the negligence of most of our leaders in this country. Honestly, they are busy amending the political timetable when people being killed on a daily basis. Look at what you said about this video, and the United States are there making us like a lot of insinuation that it's only Christian being killed in Nigeria. It's very, very unfortunate. Look at what is happening in the north, especially in Zamfara. Where are we heading to? We're in another dimension, honestly, Usman Apa, in this country in terms of insecurity. Most of our leaders are busy amending a political timetable. Is it the concern of Nigerians to amend the timetable of election? Is that what Nigerians want at this critical time? When Nigerians being killed, the people are praying Tarawih in Zamfara State, people being killed in the mosques. Nobody is saying anything in the north. Most of our northern leaders, we're in a total mess in this country, honestly, because our leaders are not doing the need. Is it how we are going to continue as a country? Allah continue to rescue us. That's my team. That is my take.
Thank you very much, MDL, for that wonderful contribution. Let's take it to the Facebook page. We have this one coming from Umar Dan Azumi. He said, delegates no longer partake in primaries. This is the way to have true democracy. It will force them to go out and campaign. Also minimizes corruption by buying votes. It should apply to all the elections, all parties. Best news in a long time. I hope it's not time tells by moonlight. We hope so. I think it's coming back to say again, talking about Umar Azmi said, despite collecting unaccounted huge sum of money, those governors do not, they are not getting security votes in billions. Are they not getting security vote in billions? Northern governors are nothing but a figure-headed, except one or two of them. Who is that? He said the insecurity has gotten out of hand when once governance is turned to private business. This is what you get. I hope the people will use their heads next time. Thank you very much, Umar Azumi. Let's take it back to the callers. Hello.
Hello, Usman Apa.
Yes, Umar.
Sorry, I want to speak on the appointment of new IGP by Mr. President. Honestly, it's a good one. We hope he will change the fortunes of Nigerian police, because there are a lot of lapses honestly. So I hope you correct all those lapses so that at least our country will be secure in terms of insecurity. You can see we are battling with the issue of insecurity in this country. So a lot needs to be done. A lot is expected by this new IG. He needs to change the fortunes of Nigerian police. May Allah see us too. That's my take.
Amen. Thank you very much. The new IG need to change the fortune of the Nigerian police. Nigerian police in the recent days, in the recent time, have come under a very, very into the stormy eye of Nigerians, because they have actually allowed themselves to be, used by selfish politicians. We call the issue of the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, who had issue with a woman in his own state, and he have to send the police to go and pick her from where she is in her state. I think not even from his own state. He went and picked her and brought her to Abuja. Just yesterday, the woman collapsed because she had been granted bail. Some activists have actually stood their ground to make sure that they did not they foil the re-arrest planned by the Nigerian police. The police have actually honorably left, and the correctional officers are not cooperating. Yesterday, the woman talking about Tracy have collapsed. He is in the hospital. Unfortunately, the images that is making the round is not too healthy, because the correctional officer is exposing himself because he is not being human, because they said papers were being presented to him by the magistrate court granting her bail and of course freeing her, but he is insisting that he have to get orders from above. So who is the above? I think the security agents in the country will have to be very, very careful. And if I'm advice, always look at Tafa Balogun case to judge yourself. There is an adage in my tribe, they said, Ago tutun, ato yotun, that if they send you, you have to resend yourself. If I send you to go and put your hand in fire, you do that, well, I think it is you who will feel, the brunt of the burning of the fire. I can only sympathize with you. The highest I can take you to hospital and give you money. So your integrity matters a lot. Police are professional institutions in Nigeria. Please, let's adhere to that level of professionalism. Do not allow a selfish politician to drag your image to the mood. Hello.
Hello, good morning, Usman Apaya.
Good morning, Mr. Nkolabai.
My name is Nkolabai. I'm calling from London State.
Yes.
See, Apaya, we are finished in this country. How can this minister come and arrest this woman? Now the woman, she's not even feeling fine. Is that is supposed to... Thank God, they have changed the narrowity of the police in this our country. If they can perform their work, we cannot hear all these things. But we pray to God, they should find out that what is happening in this our country. We are too much. The problem is too much. You cannot travel from here to Abuja. Talk of Lagos. Talk of Adamawa State. Haba. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much, Uncle Abai. We have another one coming from our Facebook page from Ibn Ali said, Mr. Paya, good morning. The issue of insecurity in this country, Allah ya isa daga bakin shi ba daga bakina ba. Hello.
Usman Apaya.
Yes, Command Ahmed.
For the meantime, in fact, I'm calling on NYC to please, for the meantime and for the security, insecurity we're having in Nigeria, can core member maintain to serve in their various states. There was a time they say you have to choose within the catchment areas. Can you see what happened? Because I'm still analyzing on this issue. And then secondly, a particular ethnic group has been seen on this particular issue. Please, if they have their group or union or leaders, please, they should also sit and also see how they can make this thing on board. Because we can't be in this country and these kind of things will be happening. In fact, I'm ashamed of this particular administration, APC. Look at what happened between Akpabio and Natasha. Look at what happened between Umahi and this. Look at what Shomole did in the private jet. Look at issue. In fact, they have failed woefully.
Well, I think if I might give my own personal opinion, I think we need to channel our strength to calling on the leaders to give us the good governance, and they should respect the constitution instead of calling for, changing the system of NYC, because establishment of NYC has a purpose. It has a national interest. I think the establishment of NYC is to improve cultural tolerance, national cohesion, and of course we can tolerate ourselves because I serve in Zamfara State, and I'm a Nupian person. I got to find out more and more of our Hausa people in Zamfara State, and like that, only some of our colleagues, any other people who serve, you've been to Akwa Ibom, you've been to Yoruba land, you've been to Igbo land, you get to know, they tell you a whole sort of story about the Igbos, that they say there's a particular place where they eat human flesh, and you go there, you see it's a different story. So I think the establishment of NYC is a very good one. We have to maintain the tempo. The only thing we should be calling for is that the government must give us security. They must secure our life. Yes, I think that it should be the call. Hello.
Hello, good morning, my brother. Good morning this morning.
Yes, good morning, Alhaji Abdulhadi Photos, I suppose.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity. I still remember Prince Alhaji Abdulhadi Photo, Land Lion of Boso. We see the issue of the police in Nigeria. So far as I'm concerned, things fall apart. Actually, what actually happened to our policemen in this country, we are talking the seniors. If the seniors, they will not value the junior work, how do you think they will end well? At the end of the day, it happened for many IGs. They will never end their arrest. Why? Because of the high rate of corruption boundary in Nigeria. We are talking of democracy today. I'll just put in this before everybody that is the democracy we are trying for, is it actually working in this our Nigeria? We'll talk about US, tomorrow we'll talk about Britain. Is it how they pay their democracy? The corruption is very seriously in this country. Who is going to wipe it out? It's you, and others who must come out through and put Nigeria firm in our heart before our selfishness interest. Police are corrupt today. We are talking about politicians are corrupt. Who's really corrupt in this country today? As for let us be frank. He will talk about Muslims corrupt, Christian also, all these are they were all corrupted because we know that need to rest and change. Change begin from me and you and others. You actually working towards that?
All right,
what I'm saying, you don't have any country more than this country who must respect our national flag and respect the spirit of this country and do the right thing and based on what our corruption so that our children, our coming children, they will meet the good Nigeria, not part of this country we are facing today.
All right,
thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you very much. I think at this point in time, we will have to turn to our plight, Niger State's anthem. That's correct, talking about plight anthem. You're talking about issue of water and electricity. It's one of the, adopted state anthem we have here. We have to amplify it again and again and again. No water in Niger State. Most importantly, the state capital, where you have concentration of the people from different walks of life, from different locality. The new Niger, agenda with no water is a very, very big, blow onto the image of the state, particularly the government at the moment. We don't have electricity. We produce power to the national grid. 3 hydroelectricity dams. We're talking about 4 to be precise. We have Zingeru, we have Shiroro, we have Kainji and Java. Yet we are backward in terms of having a stable light in Niger State. Like I've always told the managers or the discourse, particularly the NEDC, what language are you going to speak to Nigerians that they will understand you? Yes, we understand that there's 3 value chain: the generation, the transmission, and of course the discourse. But again, the people sees only the discourse. So, what do? I think Niger State governments, if coming to the plight of the people of Niger State is its watchword. 3 issues need to be trashed. 3 issues is non-negotiable to the good people of Niger State at hand now. The issue of water, 24 hours, because we have been surrounded by River Niger. Water is not our problem. Water body have surrounded us. Electricity is non-negotiable. Pensioners who have served the state meritoriously for 35 years or thereabouts needs to be settled. All their arrears need to be settled. These three things, then other could follow. Yes, we talk about education, health, and many. All depend on the priority of the government. But these three things are non-negotiable. Well, listeners, I think we want to take last call and we wrap up the program. Hello.
Good morning. My name is Ambassador Gebu the Challenger. I'm calling you from Tudun Fulani City.
You are my last call. I have 1 minute.
Thank you. You know what? Sometimes I don't blame our leaders. You know the reason why? Because me and you and others, we are the architects of our problems. The reason why I said so is this: change begins from me and you. If I change my mindset, you change your mindset. Nigeria is going to be a great country tomorrow. Then secondly, what we work on is this Usman Apaya. We should do away with sentiment of tribe, religion, nepotism, and corruption. Some of us, we don't practice what we preach.
All right, thank you very much. We have this Facebook message from Nansat, a patient Shokolo. She said, "Good morning, Sir Apaya and the People's Radio government have failed. They don't value our life. They don't value our life. Security issue keep rising. We keep praying for our leaders, but we don't get our civic right from them. It's unethical. Oh, power and light, nothing have been done. Instead, as we complain, it keep becoming worse." Well, I think with this we come to the end of the program for today. We want to sincerely thank our listeners for taking your time to listen to the program. Until next week, when we shall be here with yet another interesting package of the program. I am Usman Apaya. Thank you for listening. God bless you and goodbye for now.